The best cameras for YouTube in 2020. The best. Sony A6600. Why you should buy this. Best in class eye tracking autofocus. Who's it for? Talent operators and other one-person crews who need a camera they can rely on, even if they can't monitor it. Why we picked the Sony A6600. The Sony A6600 isn't the best video camera outright, but it has everything most YouTubers need. For vloggers and other one-person crews, it's hard to beat its ease of use. While it is a relatively small and iterative step forward from the A6500, that's just proof of how dialed in Sony's mirrorless cameras are. The A6600 offers a wealth of features for both the still photographer and videographer, but of note for YouTubers are the 180-degree flip screen, microphone, and headphone jacks, 5-axis stabilization, and excellent eye detection autofocus. It's that last feature that sets the A6600 apart. Sony's real-time IF, one of the few new features of the A6600, is the best autofocus system of its type that we've tested and removes one of the biggest pain points for creators who have to be both camera operator and talent. With real-time IF, you can simply turn it on and forget about it, trusting the camera to keep you in focus as you move about the frame. It also shoots oversampled 4K video from its APS-C sensor for detail-rich output and includes a host of advanced video settings, most notably Sony's S-Log color profiles. These flat profiles preserve more dynamic range, but will require color correction in post to make them look normal again. Not every YouTuber will need this feature, but more experienced shooters looking for that edge in image quality will appreciate having it. The biggest downside of the A6600 is that, for all the advanced options it offers, it still falls behind the competition in pure video quality. It records 4K only in 8-bit, whereas cameras like the Panasonic Lumix GH5 and Fujifilm X-T3 offer 10-bit recording. Its older sensor is also prone to jello cam, a type of wobbly distortion that occurs when the camera moves too quickly. For any lockdown shots, this shouldn't be a problem, but it may affect the ever-popular walk and talk shot. Still, the A6600 remains a balanced camera that's affordably priced and packs a lot of features into a small body. It's the best camera for most YouTube creators. The best pro video camera for YouTube. Panasonic Lumix GH5 GH5s. Why you should buy this. High-quality video file types and unlimited recording. Who's it for? Experienced videographers who want great quality and ultimate control. Why we picked the Panasonic Lumix GH5. This camera has been going strong for over 3 years and remains one of the most capable video cameras today. The first mirrorless camera to shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, the GH5 is often the easy answer to anyone asking for a good video camera. It features excellent image quality thanks to 10-bit 422 recording at up to 400 megabits per second. It also shoots in either DCI 4K, 4096x2160, or Ultra HD resolutions. But the best part about the GH5 as a YouTube camera is this: it puts no limit on the length of clips you can record. Need to go on a long-winded rant or shoot an uninterrupted interview? No problem. Most hybrid cameras, those are still cameras that shoot video, top out at a maximum of 30 minutes, but not so on the GH5. Like the Sony A6600, the GH5 gives you a fully articulating monitor, 5-axis sensor shift stabilization, and microphone and headphone jacks. It sounds like a winner all around, so why is the GH5 not our first pick? It comes down to autofocus. Panasonic developed its own focusing technology called depth from defocus, rather than go with the more standard phase detection autofocus that the A6600 uses. For still photography, DFD is impressively fast and accurate, but it has a problem when it comes to video. Due to how the system works, it continuously makes small back and forth adjustments, and these slight changes in focus can show up in your video. It's not always noticeable, but it can be a big distraction in some situations. While the GH5 is undoubtedly the better general video camera than the A6600, I have to contend that the Sony is going to be easier to use and more consistent, making it the better choice for most YouTube creators. If you can get by without perfect autofocus, however, the GH5 does have an edge in image quality and greater flexibility for color grading in post if you don't mind putting in more work. The best compact camera for YouTube. GoPro Hero8 Black. Why you should buy this? Exceptional stabilization and versatile mods make the Hero8 a winner. Who's it for? Anyone who needs stable 4K footage and great audio while on the move. Why we picked the GoPro Hero8 Black. GoPro's latest flagship is the best action camera you can buy, but calling the Hero8 Black an action camera isn't the most accurate way to label it. It does much more than provide the point of view perspective for extreme athletes, with new mod accessories that turn it into a powerful vlogging tool. Add an LED light, mini shotgun microphone, and even a flip-up selfie screen. Also important to vloggers, GoPro turned up its impressive hyper-smooth stabilization to 2.0 in the Hero8 Black, offering gimbal-like steadiness perfect for those walk and talk shots, whether you're in the middle of a convention floor or hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. Hypersmooth 2.0 is beyond impressive and the #1 reason I'd recommend the Hero8 Black to YouTubers over other action cameras. The best camera for YouTube live streaming. Blackmagic Design Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Why you should buy this? Beautiful footage, expert camera control for live streaming with a 10 mini. Who's it for? Streamers, filmmakers, or anyone who wants to turn their home into a production studio. Why we picked the Blackmagic Design Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K is your ticket to professional quality video without blowing all of your ad revenue on a new camera. It's also fantastic for live streaming when combined with Blackmagic's ATEM Mini HDMI switcher, which lets you control virtually all aspects of the camera from your computer, from focus to color correction. But that's not the only area where this camera excels. Unlike others on this list, the PCC4K can shoot either Blackmagic RAW or Apple ProRes file types internally. With up to 12:1 compression, Blackmagic RAW offers the best quality to file size ratio of any video codec, while ProRes provides edit-friendly files that you can drop onto a timeline and immediately begin to cut. Both are going to provide better quality than what you can get with other cameras, especially in this price range, giving the PCC4K a pretty significant image quality edge for creators who don't mind putting in a bit of extra effort. Now, given how affordable the PCC4K is, it would be easy for anyone to assume it's the best choice and go out and buy one, but beware. While this is certainly a capable camera, it lacks many quality of life features that are present in most mirrorless cameras. Autofocus is basically non-existent, and battery life is quite poor, getting you around 25 minutes of record time. But the PCC4K is merely the centerpiece of a larger production rig. It's designed to integrate with external batteries, follow focus systems, monitors, and everything else you need to turn it into a professional filmmaking tool. Sure, that's overkill for many YouTubers, but given that the most popular channels are shooting on the likes of Red digital cinema cameras, the PCC4K is a great way to give your channel the professional look, even if you don't have the MKBHD budget. Best camera for YouTube vlogging. Sony ZV-1. Why you should buy this? Several features are purpose-built for the vlogger. Who's it for? Creators who need professional image quality in a camera that just works. Why we picked the Sony ZV-1. This offshoot of Sony's popular RX100 line was built specifically with vloggers and YouTubers in mind. It features an upgraded 3-capsule microphone and includes a windsock to help with recording higher audio quality outdoors. The RX100's pop-up flash and viewfinder have vanished, but the new microphone as well as the vari-angle screen that flips out to the side are more useful for video. Internally, the ZV-1 has the same 20-megapixel 1-inch type sensor as the RX100 VI, which was our pick for the best point-and-shoot camera. However, rather than use the 24 to 200mm f2.8 to 4.5 full-frame equivalent lens of the RX100 VI, Sony opted for the shorter 24 to 70mm f1.8 to 2.8 lens of older RX100 cameras. This has a number of advantages for video, starting with the wider aperture that allows for a shallower depth of field for blurring out backgrounds. This lens also incorporates a built-in neutral density filter which helps when shooting in bright light by acting like sunglasses for your camera. This allows for a slower shutter speed, keeping footage smooth and natural. Sony also built several features into the ZV-1 designed specifically for the modern content creator who may not be an experienced videographer. This includes a background defocus mode that automatically selects the widest aperture when enabled, and a product highlight mode that tunes the autofocus to quickly transition from the presenter's face to a product held in front of them, snapping back to the face when the product is lowered from view. While Digital Trends hasn't tested the ZV-1 yet, it is already popular with the numerous vloggers who had their hands on it prior to launch. Combined with our experience with Sony's RX100 series, we feel confident in recommending this camera, but there's a catch. Panasonic recently introduced the Lumix G100, a vlogging camera with a larger micro Four Thirds sensor and interchangeable lenses. That alone won't make it better than the ZV-1 for vloggers, but it looks to be a strong alternative, especially considering the similar pricing.